Hello, welcome to my channel. This is your first time watching any of my videos. I randomly just do things, so, that's good. This is a 1989 Evinrude 40 horsepower. It is a long shaft, in my opinion, although most would just call it a standard. It's a 20-inch shaft. If you haven't been following along, I just got done working on a 1990 40 horsepower short shaft. I had that engine for many months, and as months went on, I was looking for parts to make it a remote electric start. I slowly bought all those parts I needed to do that, and then made a series of videos of me fixing the engine. Well, not really fixing it, there wasn't really anything wrong with it, but it had been sitting for 20 years, so I basically just went through it, getting it running again, and then adding all the electronics. And then, lo and behold, this thing, which has everything I needed, shows up 2 weeks later. So that's kind of sucks. But this one's not really in that good a condition, so we're gonna take it apart and see what happened. And I'll do a quick walkthrough just to kind of show you what we're dealing with. So this was on the back of a boat, obviously, but some type of ocean boat. There are two of them on there. So it was a twin 40 horsepower install. Had a tie bar attaching the two together. Story has it, the guy was out cruising around one day, and this engine locked up on him. He was then able to use the port engine to get back home. Cool. And then he just bought one engine, got rid of both of them, and I wound up with them. So, at a glance, the Powerhead looks okay. I don't really see anything wrong with it. There's nothing sticking out of the block. The paint's not chipping off. Overall, not bad. The next thing I look at are the rollers. Both rollers are intact. Now, granted, if I were to use these, they'd probably start to deteriorate pretty quickly, but for right now, they're intact. Also, the timing marks are all pretty in line, so nobody's really done anything too dumb with this thing. When the guy took it off, all he said he did was disconnect the cables and then remove the engine. Now, I don't know why he ripped apart the air cleaner to do that. Maybe he didn't know what he was doing and needed the room. I got no idea. So that is always kind of the first giveaway. Okay, if you just took the motor off, took the cables out of here, why is this off? Why is it missing the cover, and where are the screws? So a little bit of a gray area right there. On the other side of the motor, we can also see the start cable is disconnected. Don't know why somebody did that. We also have the sender wires for the trim gauge. Those are nice and cut. It also doesn't even have a little trim gauge, so trim sender. So I don't really know what happened there, but probably didn't work anyway. Those stupid things break all the time. Still got the VRO on it. All lines are all still hooked up, so I'm guessing this guy was using the VRO system. It could have failed. I got no idea. So I'll show you the problem. So this engine was advertised as seized. When I called the guy, he's like, "Oh yeah, it's seized up." Now, when I get there, well, it's not really seized if it rotates. Problem is, it doesn't rotate very well. It's rotating okay, and then a dead stop right there. It ain't going anywhere else. Backwards, stops about the same point. I could probably force it a little more, but it feels like it would just get stuck. I'm guessing it lost a rod cap or something, because it does kind of make a good stop. But there is a chance that the lower unit blew up. So I'm going to get the engine up and take off the lower unit and then see if this rotates. So get this. We have not one, but two propeller spacers or thrust washers. That's kind of funny. So if you're wondering how I did that, I put a little bit of pressure up with the tire spoon while rotating a propeller shaft, and it usually pops that off. By the way, tire spoon, probably one of the handiest tools I have. Well, let's see what happens. Still stuck. Well, that's good to know. Problem's in the powerhead and not in the lower. I would like to roll out the flywheel being the problem. Well, not the flywheel, but things inside the flywheel. So, I'm going to pull this off, have a look-see. What I was thinking, maybe, you know, this separated or something, or the coil or something there fell apart, but it all looks fine. So the lower cover here comes off like that. You see what I mean? Talked about it in my last videos, but I'm actually going to pull it off this time. Power trim and tilt switch here. Apparently not doing nothing. So that's weird. Have to dig into what's wrong with that, but anyway. Let's get that disconnected. Start pulling all the screws out. Attach the lower covers, gotta come out. Water tube. And our fuel line. That's all that really takes. They should both come right out. But you never know. Nope, 2 screws. At least 1 screw down there, I forgot. Alright, let's try it again. Yep, that was easy. Apparently having the screws out makes a world of difference. Still nothing obviously wrong with it. What I'm probably going to do now, just so it's not in my way and I don't break anything, especially since this entire thing is just a plethora of parts from my other engine, I'm going to rip off the ignition system and all the electronics and everything, so we're left with just the engine block, and then we'll pull that off and see if we can see what happened. Okay, as you can see, the engine is now pretty well taken apart. Not much left on it. The only thing really left to do is pull out the 4 bottom bolts on each side and remove the power head, and we'll see how that goes. So, to ease access, and I don't really want to bend over, I'm just going to lift it up like that and hope to get them out. Bull heads look pretty rusty. Hopefully this goes okay, but you never know. Well, I got one started. And that's all. Get a right side socket on it. Well, let's try again. Well, they all came out okay, so that's pretty shocking. The only one left now is the one in the back. Gotta find there it is. The wrench. Looks like you can get a box in there pretty easily, so that's good. Yeah, not very tight. So that's even better. Alright, the power head should be ready to come off now. Let me get my chain hooked up and lift it up. Okay, chain hoist is connected. Ideally, would lift it from, the center. Yeah, this will work. So, not breaking free yet, but no real surprise. Piece of cake. Alright, power head is off on my bench. I pulled the intake manifold off already, and you can already start seeing metal shavings. So whatever the problem is, it's on the top cylinder. So, pull the cylinder head off now. And we'll split open the crankcase and see what blew up. Well, cylinder head, cylinder piston, it's pretty gone. Cylinder head, done for as well. Whole bunch of stuff wedged up inside of there, so that's fun. I'm going to save this plug off the cylinder head though. My other engine looks a little rounded off on the corners. Thermostat's probably okay too, so I'll save those stuff for my engine. I'm going to go throw the cylinder head in the trash. Alright, let's get the insides opened up and yeah, see what the rest of the damage is. And it doesn't look like many of these bolts I'll be able to get to at the impact. So this kind of sucks. Not that one. Yeah, not that one. Nope. Alright, looks like I can get 2 out of the impact. The rest, gonna be wrench. No reason to watch me do that for 20 minutes, so I'll come back. Bolts are out. Got my crankshaft separating mallet. see a nice groove there, and then just metal dust throughout. Not much on the bottom, but a lot of it up top. See right in here. Alright, time to get the pistons out. We'll do the bottom first, since I know it'll go. Well, I don't know. I think it'll go. Bottom came right out. It looks fine. I don't see the if it was an oversized piston, usually you'd say like, 0.10, 0.20, 0.30, whatever the case may be. I don't see one. So this is probably the original build of this motor. Let's get the bottom off now. So you can see some evidence of heat. Usually the rods are kind of discolor if they get warm, and you can clearly see that. So definitely had a problem there. The liner for the bearings, they're done. These are the bearings. That's what they should look like. Let me get this out of there. Compare the two. That's what they should look like. That's what mine look like. So they get some melting together there. It's another good little example. The other half that broke off. The inside's not too bad. I know it's horrible, don't get me wrong, but this side's nice and like melted and smooth. Oh yeah, that looks good. You can see the color difference in the crank between the top and the bottom. Maybe you can. I can. Pretty obvious when I'm looking at it. Looking at it in the camera screen, not really that noticeable. Crank, might be able to use it, but you want to put this into an engine and find out that it ain't any good. So I'll just be tossing it. Top bearing's probably fine. Although you never know what metal shaving's got in there either. Through this way. Alright, that's done. Now, you see a whole bunch of funness going on inside of here. Really just dust and metal shavings and just junk. Really not something I want to stick my finger too hard into. Let's find something to mash that piston out of there. That was easy. So I'm sitting here looking inside the piston. Like, wow, there is no wall damage at all on this thing. This thing is immaculate. Like, I am shocked. I was like, oh, I'm looking at the bottom cylinder. Oh yeah. The top, the intake ports, they're all chipped up. The entire thing is that ugly gray color. You got, scoring going down it. Really not horrible. Like, there's no real, grooves. Since there's no real metal chunks taken out, I don't know. It's probably, you probably could save this block. Worth it? No, not at all. You just go get another used Powerhead that doesn't have this problem. Let's throw that on it. But if you needed to, if we were in some kind of Mad Max world, there's nothing left. Oh yeah, you're using this thing. Alright, now onto the piston. Oh yeah, it looks nice. Let me wipe it off a little. So here's the piston. You can see a pretty good crack starting here. The top is obviously destroyed. rings started kind of fusing themselves into the piston. Connecting rod, it's fine. Feel, well, it's, like I said, you could probably use it, but you just don't want to. We had a little bit of rocking connecting rod, but really not bad. What's interesting to me is that crack. I kind of wonder if any longer and they probably would have lost that little chunk and just completely destroyed it. Although it's pretty well on there. Yeah, maybe not. Now I don't know if that was part of the manufacturing process that crack developed, or from, you know, overheating or running it out of oil, or who knows, but either way. That's what happened to this motor. At least we know now. I'm going to inspect the lower unit, see if it's got any metal shavings or anything in it. Those lower units are pretty expensive. I think the general opinion of them is the things are a little on the weak side. My experience so far with my 40 horse is it's got a lot of power, and that lower unit is a little on the small side. So, yeah, they might be a little weak. Time will tell, and then I'll make up my opinion. Either way, I'm going to clean that one up, save it, in case I need it for my motor. Yeah, it's a long shaft, mine's a short, but yeah, internals will be the same aside from the drive shaft and the shift rod. So yeah, I'll hang on to it. Well, that's the end of this motor. Hope you might have found it helpful, entertaining, whatever. So, see y'all next time.